Welcome everyone to this edition of Talented Universe on this glorious day, 23rd of October, 2024. And before I get started, I just want to let you know that Sofronio could not make it today for the podcast. Some of the advertising I did said he was here, some he didn't. He will actually be here tomorrow evening. And so double check that. I'll be posting that on the podcast that he will be joining another guest, and that's a surprise. I'm not going to say it right now of who he's going to be with. So he's going to be with somebody. But today, first, I'd like to welcome my co-host, Vernon. Vernon, how are you doing today?
Hey, Mike, doing good. Nice hot day over here in South Africa. So yeah, it's all good.
Great. And I would like to introduce our two fabulous contestants from The Voice, season 26. Shye, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm tired.
You're tired. Partying too much, or you've been practicing too much?
Or
both?
I wish I could say either. But the truth is,
okay.
I'm tired.
It's just too early in the afternoon. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's just too early. But I do have a party to go to tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
Oh, well, hopefully you're good for the party. Jamison, how are you doing today? I hope you're not going to be partying on us too soon.
Partying nonstop. We got baby showers coming up. Partying nonstop. We just built our stroller last night. So, yeah, all the parties, man.
Oh,
yeah.
Soon to be dad, man. It's the soon to be dad life.
What a celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole season, man.
And you'll be tired soon, eh?
Yeah, at some point. Yeah, I think that's it. We're leading up to the tiredness in January.
Yeah.
Oh, is that when the baby's due?
Yeah, January 19th right now.
Oh, okay. So you got a few months to get yourself prepared then.
Yeah, absolutely.
However.
Nice.
Maybe ask the first question. I'll probably steal one of Vernon's questions, but that's life.
Okay.
I'll start with Shye. How was your experience with the blind audition? Do you remember what happened, or did you have to remember when you watched it on TV?
I think you're the first person who phrased it that way. And honestly, that's the truth. When I first I first got notified that it was like my episode was gonna air, I was like, oh my God, like I don't even know what I said. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna look like I'm gonna look insane on like live television, and it's gonna be horrible. But then when I watched it, I was surprised. I was like, okay, I had pretty good composure. Like I did not remember.
Oh, well, that's good. So you weren't like, ooh.
I was
you were saying, yay, I did okay.
Yeah, I just said thank you the whole time because I was like speechless. Like I was like, thank you so much, Gwen.
Such a weird situation, though. I mean, that's not everyday life, right? So the camera's going and it's being recorded, and you just delivered did your thing, and did it very well. I mean, yeah, man, it was so composed and just sounded great.
Thank you. I hoped so.
Jamison, what was I won't even ask that question. It's the same question to you.
What was my experience like on the blind auditions?
Well, how, did you remember it, or were you shocked when you saw it live?
In that moment, you really do black out. You like on the stage, you're in your body's in fight or flight, and you have no choice for flight, so you have to fight. And so you're stuck in here, and it's the most incredible experience because I think it's a huge shaping experience for you as a person. You walk into an environment that is foreign, and though you've been in there for rehearsals, it's very different when there's a huge crowd of people left and right of you, 4 people who you want to impress who are turned away from you, and everybody is dead silent when you walk in. So you get your name called, you walk in, you see the people you love, and they look nervous, and you walk up and it's your time. It's the battle before the actual battles, honestly, and it's a mental battle with just yourself. And so for me, I remember being in the moment, and I walked up. I felt good when I saw my wife and my brother. I got on stage and I started singing. I felt good until this moment. Started singing. As I started singing, my muscles and my body they weren't cooperating and doing the thing that I know how to do. And so I started singing and immediately felt the nerves and the jitters. And basically for the first 30 seconds to 45 seconds of the song was like in a battle with myself where I was trying to get my voice out. And and I had never felt that before. Like I've always had nerves before I go up, but as soon as I go up, I call it like the switch. I'm like, I'm good to go. Like we do this thing, we're up there. And so it just didn't happen this time around. I was like, oh, I'll just switch on. I'll be fine. And just wasn't prepared. And so, yeah, I remember in the middle of it having a nightmare scenario in my head of saying like, this is what you picture in a movie where you walk up, there's a person who like slow-mo is picturing everybody laughing at them and is having this like crisis moment. And I was like, pull it together. And so halfway through, I had this falsetto note that gives you a chance to kind of rest. Falsettos, as much as it's like a higher note, it's actually easier to create than full voice or like a half voice, like a mix. And so I had this falsetto where it gave me a chance to breathe. And after that falsetto, people started cheering and I got the chance to like go in. And that's all I remember is like that battle. And it lasted forever. And at some point people turned around and I don't remember when. And
they just did. And then you just kept going.
Yeah, no, I looked up and honestly, it was at the end of the song. I was in the middle of my final note and I looked down and was like, oh, okay. Like, oh, we got him. Like I had not registered it.
Yeah. So you had no idea. You had no idea that anybody had turned.
Because people who know me know that I'm extremely self-critical. Like, and it's a thing I'm working on. I gotta love myself, but like I am like I'm so like clear cut on what I want to do. I have plans. I have things that I want to lock in, and I'm real hard on myself in that way. And so I was just in my own brain the whole time, and I've got like, all the ADD stuff, so I'm able to like just live in my own world without actually seeing anything in front of me for a while. And so that was like I was in a completely different existence for that 90 seconds.
Yeah, we've heard from some of the other talents that it's kind of like you're stuck in two minds because you have to focus on what you're delivering, but it's almost like you watching yourself back and you analyzing yourself while you're doing it. So I mean that's a tough spot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was an interesting experience for sure. And again, I'd say shaping. I think we walked out of the blinds. I mean, Shye, how'd you feel afterwards? Do you feel like you gained a new kind of tool for confidence? Like, what was it like for you on that?
I mean, I definitely feel. Wait, first of all, let me just say, I didn't know if I should like raise my hand or something. Guys, I just came out of high school. I don't know like when to say like.
No,
just cut in. I mean, that's what we usually do.
Whatever you want.
And when I watched yours, like I didn't like see that. Like I could see that you were like, obviously everybody's nervous, but like I didn't hear that. Like you sounded fantastic the whole way through. To me personally, you just did a fantastic job. But
thank you, Shye.
But you were asking about what was
it? If afterwards you felt like you had a new kind of, when we go through certain like levels of performance and experience, I feel like there's like tools we gain along the way. Did you feel like you were different after the blinds?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I felt like after the blinds, there was like a new type of, not really confidence, but like knowledge of the way that you should carry yourself and the way that you can, you know what I'm saying? Like, because like, even though I can't, technically, like not all the times we can't control our nerves, I found like you said, like it's easier where you can kind of remember that you have the option to switch on and kind of like become this like more elevated version and personality of yourself where you're able to express yourself and kind of talk from the heart. I think a lot of the times like the interviews that we did on the show pretty frequently helped a lot with that, because I used to not be able to like get a sentence out without being like, was what I said stupid?
I love it.
And literally talking to the coaches face to face, I feel like it kind of like calms you down. Like, okay, they're nice. Like, this is not a moment where like I'm gonna get eaten alive. So yeah, there was definitely like a newfound confidence in like talking and even singing and performing.
Yeah. And did you know straight away who you wanted to pick, or did they put extra pressure on you? They all made great pitches, right? To get you on the teams.
They made amazing like arguments. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I feel horrible because like I love all of them so much, but in already like if Michael turns, I'm choosing him because I love him so much. He's a fantastic performer. I know the type of like I've seen what type of person he is like when he's talking to people or like the interviews that he does, and I'm like I would really want to work with him because I feel like there's so much I could learn from him as a person and as an artist, like both of that. And even though it's true for all of the coaches, I feel like he was the one that like I really had my heart set on just because of I felt like we would have had a good connection, and we do. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And Shye, just for my own curiosity's sake, you have a very developed voice already, and obviously it's not to say you can't at 17 have a developed voice, but did you have like classical training, or when did you find your voice? You know, the voice that you felt comfortable with singing. It's unique. It's very, I would say, airy, but not like in a way that you can't project. But it's just a very interesting, cool tone, and I enjoy it. And it's still very controlled. That especially, I mean, when you started out at the low notes, I thought, okay, this is a singer that's very comfortable here, and this is the range that they choose to sing in. But then you went for those big notes, and it was amazing as well. Such a surprise. So yeah, when did you find your sweet spot?
Thank you. First of all, like, okay.
Yeah, man. Take it. Yeah.
I think that I really started to like, I mean, I always like did a little bit of singing. Every little kid sings. They sound horrible. I sounded horrible. Unless you're like one of those 3-year-olds that are like on like American Idol and like you sing and everybody, oh my God, this is an opera singer. Okay, not the point, but still, like, I feel like I really started to sing when I was like around 8 years old, when I did like this talent show in 3rd grade. And my mom was like, oh wait, she can actually hold a tune. This is insane. And I guess from that point on, like my mom and my sister really just kept pushing me to like keep doing it. And like, I enjoyed it a lot. So I ended up joining like my school's musicals and stuff like that. And we weren't particularly the most wealthy of people. We were like probably like middle class poorish. So I couldn't afford music lessons. So my sister had to just kind of like teach me the things that she knows, which isn't a ton, but it was enough for me. And I feel like community really helped me out. Like all like of like my family's ears and the ears of like my school and like my friends, you know, encouraging me and stuff like that helped me to really grow, like see what I had to work on and kind of like work on my tone of voice as I grew up. Nice. So even though I didn't have like classical training, which a lot of people said that I should have done like throughout my childhood, I feel at the end of the day that I got the support and what I needed. And that at the end of the day, I ended up doing, well, obviously perfectly fine. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, your voice, Shye, is your blind audition. After, you know, we watched it together, like our group got to like cheer each other on and watch our blinds, which was so fun. There was actually like a connection issue with the Wi-Fi when we watched Stewards, and so I was like really bummed because I wanted to hear the whole thing really clearly. So when I watched it on the actual episode, I was just sitting there with my jaw on the floor because it was like I knew how talented you were, and you know we were around each other, so we're like singing by the pool, like at the hotel, like we're all together for that. So I heard your voice there, but the arrangement, what you did for Superman, what you did for your song. Wait, what's the song?
Superman.
Like, yeah. Yeah. So what you did for that and how there was that moment you flipped up, but you didn't just flip up. You flipped up with like pizzazz, and you did this like powerful diva-esque belt
Yeah.
Because you were chilling in like the low register, and I was like, oh, that's a warm tone. Like I was like, that is like a like hot tub of tone, like where you just sit in it and just like, dude, all day. And then all of a sudden you go hype, and I was screaming in our living room. I was like, this is insane. Like the projection. And so I know you've done some like theater stuff too, right? You did like musicals and things like that. Have you done?
Yeah, I've done like Grease was my favorite when I did that in middle school. I was
Nice.
and I did in the Heights in high school, and I played Abuela. Like I love those sorts of musicals. So of course, theater kid, I have to be like dramatic. I don't like to say I'm a theater kid. I like to say I'm a kid who does theater, but it's just not the truth. Nobody believes me. So
I think deep down we'll always be choir kids and theater kids. Like we'll always have that within us.
I agree. It's important. It's important.
Yeah.
It shapes you. It shapes you for what you become in singing.
Yeah.
I got a couple of questions in the chat room. I want to get to those before, I forget. Elizabeth Cooper, thank you for the like on Facebook. Arc54 has a question. I have a question for both of you. What were your thoughts or reactions when you got the call that you made it to The Voice to be on the blinds? Jamison, you want to start?
Yeah. So I.
Shye says yes. Start.
Yeah, I know. I'm the first. I'm always the first to take a chance and talk. I'm like I make a fool of myself first. Make the room. I sent in the original videos kind of on a whim. I had some buddies who were like, "You should do The Voice, man," and I was like, "Yeah, I've got my thing," and I kind of given up a little bit on the outside career out of like worship music and that kind of stuff. I'm like doing other things. For some reason, I just wanted to focus in on that. And I just remember hearing like in my head, like, why not? Like, why not just have an adventure?
Go for it.
We were talking about having kids soon. I was like, let me just do this thing first and give it a go and try it out. And the worst that could happen is that I engage with some people. I like show some love, be a light and make friends with some amazing people, and that's that. And so when I sent in, I didn't follow up a ton with the videos. After my first video that I sent in, that one of the producers called me like 6 months later and was like, "Are you gonna keep going? Because you haven't corresponded with us at all in the past 6 months." And I said, "Yeah, I'm down to." I was in Florida. He was like, "Just send me anything on your camera roll. Like, just send me something." So I sent a couple more videos of just like random singing. And then basically I got a call 2 months after that. While I was in San Francisco for a little vacation, we had just gotten out of like a church service, and I was still like talking to people. They called me and said, "Yeah, we're gonna push you through to the blinds. You're gonna get a call from wardrobe." That Shye, that whole call where it's like you're gonna get all these things. And I dropped to the floor, dude. Like I was like knees on the ground. I was like bent over, like, what is happening? Like,
did you think you were dreaming?
It was surreal. And I told my wife. She walked up afterwards because it looked like I was in peril. Like, she walked up like, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I'm going to be in a hotel for a while."
And she went, yeah.
Yeah. So we still had to work out. She was like, "Am I going to this hotel?" I was like, "I don't know. I don't know anything." So when we found out, it was kind of unreal. And then all along the way, they tell you can be cut at any moment. And so as we're going through this whole process, even in the hotel, people were getting cut while we were there. So it's a pretty grueling experience because you just never know. I mean, you do your best every step of the way. But Shye, what was yours?
Pretty much the same. When I heard like you can get cut at any moment, those words, like I was like, oh God. So like my mom would she would be so excited all the time. She's like cocky for me. Like of course everybody has to know. She's like, guess audition for The Voice, guys. And I'm like, "Mom, please stop telling everybody." But I love her. She's my biggest supporter. But like she was like being like so excited and hype about it, and I was like, don't say anything, because I was like, if I get cut, like I am like that would have like hurt me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I was really scared of that, because I was like, there's a lot of people with talent. Everybody's a fantastic singer. I didn't even know how worried I was supposed to be until I got to the hotel, and then I heard it and I was like, oh no, it's so over. Like it was just super surreal. Like I didn't even gauge that this was really going to happen for me and that I was really going to go to the blind auditions. until probably the day before, maybe even the day of my blind audition, when I stepped on the stage and I was like, okay, I'm actually here. So,
And then you blacked out, so then you didn't remember until later.
Yeah.
No, that's totally understandable, but yeah. I just can't imagine the turmoil of emotions that you go through with all of that. I mean,
yeah.
the only thing I've come close is when I've gone for job interviews and I feel like they're going to kick me out and say they don't want me, so that's the closest I have an experience like that, but that was terrible.
Yeah. Well, you form these friendships along the way, and we really helped, all of us were together through all the practices and everything. And so we really, our season, more than I think that they were saying other seasons, they said, one, your season's insanely talented, which we all knew. We got to hear each other along the way, and we're like all intimidated and humbled. And two, they said, your season is so friendly. Like, all the people in your season are so loving. They're so like encouraging of each other. And that was, for me, that was like mission accomplished. That was like, wow, like, let's do this in a time where, people are so at odds and against each other. Like, let's be people who make this an experience where it's like a production that's based off like support and supporting each other.
Well, which is wonderful. The support. I've heard that from some of other contestants that we have talked to, and they said they have made best friends by going there, and they just said they're going to be friends forever. No matter what. It's wonderful. So in that respect, it's a great experience to go through all the pain and suffering you go through at first. Then you do have a reward. So that's great. Vernon, do you have anything else you wanted to bring up before I go to another question? Or
I think you can go to another question.
Okay. This is one that everybody asked. Elizabeth Cooper, who gave us a like, which I appreciate. Thank you, Elizabeth. Who are your musical influences? And this is to both of you. I'm going to make Shye do it first this time.
I knew that.
To be rude. And you can say Vernon if you don't have anybody right now. So
you don't have to. That's fine. There's something to pick from.
I think that Vernon. No, I think really right now, probably the biggest one so far has got to be like Harry Styles.
Oh.
No, everybody's, oh, he's so overrated. That's not true. That's not true. Like, anybody who says that hasn't listened to his music, hasn't listened to his performance or his words. Everything. I like that not only his lyrics have a purpose, but music and production behind it, which I know there are a lot of amazing people that go into that. Like, they all work to create a product that really reflects the human experience and different emotions with like such like depth and like finesse. That's Jamison's word. And I really feel like he is something of like the artist that I want to kind of try and kind of like have my career turn out the same way and kind of create a similar type of vibe of music. So I really feel like people like him are who I look up to, along with probably like more of like the folky, poppy, classic rock singers like Queen, David Bowie, and I to fall into this genre, but Lady Gaga also. She's just so crazy and like crazy in the best way possible. Like, her outfits, her songs are iconic. Like, I really just feel like her and Harry Styles are like probably like my main two people where I was like, if I could have a career and like do the music that I wanted to do right off of like the start, and I had like the utilities to do so, I would want to create music like that.
Yeah,
that's solid.
And if they were both in a movie together, you'd go to that movie immediately.
I would go to that movie and I would watch it a million times.
Oh, that could happen though too. That's
I know, that's why.
I've never thought about that. Now I'm pumped. Dude, you're blind. I can hear Lady Gaga over that blind that you did so much. That movement up, that's like, dude, that's such her move. Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, now Jamison, you're stalling. Now we have to go to you for that question. Do you want me to say the question again, or
no? I'm good. Okay. Thanks for caring for the ADD. No, I got it. I think I remember it.
go get my phone charger because I think my phone is going to die.
Oh, okay. Go for it. I got another question for Jamison. So
This is not professional. Okay.
I love you so much. I love her, man. So my influences. I'm from Memphis, and so I'm really proud of that. And there's some really amazing artists that have come out of Memphis. I love
just
the
a
people
few.
that I've connected with. Yeah, just a few. But honestly, my blind wasn't necessarily this way. My battle is a little bit more, but I lean more folk rock. But I produced as a pop producer. I like learned from producers that have done stuff with, like the Katy Perry and Justin Bieber and all them. Like that's a huge heart because those people poured into me and taught me how to produce. And so my influences kind of merged together in my music. But I looked up to Drew Holcomb and the Neighbors. Matt Corby is an incredible artist from Australia, still in that folk vein. There's people like Lone Bellow who are kind of that like rock drive. We got some of like the Bruce Springsteen mixed into it with like that folk. Brandy Carlisle. I mean, Nickel Creek, Punch Brothers. All these like people that come together and form this kind of epic folk. You heard my blind. I love to shout. I love to belt, and so I love passion through music. It's a big part of my sound. One other one, like Need to Breathe, would be huge as far as just like the vocal. And then producing wise, I think there's no one that I've seen that's more creative in a genre creating in this way than Jacob Collier, Coldplay. Some of these like people that just paint with all the colors. I'm so inspired by those people who just aren't afraid to take a chance. So if those worlds combined, that would be music that I love to want to create.
Yeah, cool. Human Heart by Coldplay and Jacob Collier. That's something.
Yes,
bro.
That's quite something.
Yeah.
And also, sorry, can I quickly interject? Shye, I don't know if both of you, but I don't know if you're the same, but I sometimes tend to like the songs that don't make it to the radio off of those albums. Like, for instance, Harry Styles, there was a song a few albums ago, Sweet Creature.
Yes.
That was quite a cool song. I think you would do that very well.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I don't know, how do you guys feel? Like there's sometimes just this gem that obviously it's not maybe the formula for radio, but it's iconic.
I get so upset when that happens, when there's like a song so beautiful and I feel like people are very harsh on artists and like they kind of almost dehumanize them and forget that they're humans and forget that they're people who have emotions. And like they'll jump to say, oh, somebody's overrated, or like they make music that I don't like, but without listening to the other stuff that hasn't been on the radio. People only put stuff on the radio that are like poppy because they think that's what people are going to like Watermelon Sugar, maybe even sometimes Golden, they'll play it, but never. And I feel like songs like that, and that includes like every artist has songs like this, and they'll put those on the radio because they think that's what people want to hear. So then people make this broad assumption like, oh, that's all they say. And then the rest of his music and the rest of the artist's music are like a completely different genre than like one or two pop songs that are like upbeat, like hardcore pop. And people get like the wrong perception. So I feel like a lot of times before you make a judgment about an artist, I think that you should at least listen to the type of their music that they're like putting out and like kind of them as an actual person before you go hating. There are so many songs that have been written by even Michael Jackson, like the biggest stars that people don't listen to, and they're the best songs. They are the best. True. It happens so often. So I feel like, even if you like an artist, but you haven't listened to like some of their other songs and you only listen to the popular ones, like, I take time out to like take a minute because it's what I would do. I would want somebody to do for me. If they just heard one of my songs, I would want them to listen to the other ones and kind of get the full picture because that was the intention. Yes. So yeah, I really like that. I really like
Don't just play the top 5 on Spotify. Go to the album, play the full album.
Yeah.
Take the time. Play it in your car.
Work, but it's a reward. It's a reward.
Yeah. That's art. Come on.
It is a reward. Okay, let me get the last couple of questions before we say adios for today. This is for Jamison. I'm going to do this to him. Jamison, love the hat. Do you ride? Hog rider here.
Oh no, I did. I was a cafe guy. I'm so sorry. I'm just not beefy enough to keep up with the hogs. My buddy Jordan Landers is he's all about the Harleys and all about that stuff. I got a buddy who rides Indian. I had a CX. Sorry, I had a CB550 that I redid from the ground up that I was a big fan of, and then I realized it cost too much to keep it up. So it was a 76, and I was like, this thing's falling apart as I'm riding it. Yeah, I miss it. I miss it a lot. It was a lot of fun, freedom.
Okay, here's the last one from ARC54. Have either of you gotten to perform live other than on The Voice?
You, Shye.
What does that like? What does that like entail? Like, what
Well, I can see because you said you did other things. I don't know what she's exactly asking. Are you asking like a concert, or are you asking because she said she performed live? I mean, she might have done this question before you said that. Because you said you did. Was it? Oh, I'm spacing. You say you were choir. You say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you did the plays, right?
Yeah, things like that. I've never been.
So those are live.
Yeah, I've never been on TV before. If that's the question, so no. But I have performed like at concerts or like local or.
Are you Shye? Are you doing like? Have you done any like cafe shows or like anything at like small venues or?
Yeah.
In Philly.
Usually, I've gotten like pizzeria, like sometimes like, so there's this one pizzeria in my hometown in Long Island that would pay me $100 per night to show up to their karaoke and just sing a song and then leave to like get like the room
to get it going.
And I was like, what?
That is wild.
That was the most request that I've ever gotten. I was like, I love pizza. I love singing. This is great.
Did they give you free pizza?
What?
Did they give you free pizza too?
I did.
Oh my.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd be there.
Give him my number.
You'll fly out for that, huh?
Yeah, man, that sounds like a blast.
That was the best. That was the best moment ever. After that, it was just like I don't know. Only like seniors showed up that night, but it was needless to say that I enjoyed all of like the Shirley Temple that was sung afterwards. So yeah.
Nice.
That is wild. That is wild. Okay, let's go with one. Aisha just has a statement. She says, "I've listened to many of Buddy Holly's songs and just not the hits. And I agree with that statement. To know an artist, you have to listen and research an artist. That is true. That is true."
Yep. That's so good.
And it sounds like Shye has done that with several artists.
True. I mean, I always do that. I'm not like a gold star music artist. Like I don't always do it. Like I'm a person who will just listen to the main one. I'll be like, I don't listen to any of the other songs.
There you go. Yeah.
But if you have the time, it's just nice. So.
Yeah, and I'd say the next step, the next level on supporting the arts and supporting live music is going to shows. Like go to shows and look up the local shows in your area. Like make it a point that you go 3 to 4 times a month and like go experience the culture in your city and go support these artists, because I think people want to make art instead of having to make it on the top whatever on Spotify. Like go support them just creating and encourage that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That is so true. Vernon, any closing remarks, statements, or anything before we go? Or
No, it's been fun. Really enjoyed chatting to both of you, and just getting to know you a bit. And we're rooting for you, wishing you all of the best with the journey forwards, and may it just continue to thrive and build towards even greater things.
Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Jamison, here's one to you. Now I just have one question. This is from Aisha. Are you related to Gary Puckett?
Gary Puckett and the Union Gap. I'm not. I wish I was. So amazing. I love that question. I love being associated at all with Gary Puckett and or Kirby Puckett. I'll take it.
You'll
I'll
take
take it,
anything.
man. Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
Well, I just want to say in closing, both of you, wonderful blinds, fantastic luck. I won't say luck, but have a great experience the rest of your time on The Voice. And honestly, if you'd like to come back again and suffer with us, we'd love to have you.
Love it.
Having us.
So
Yeah, thank you so much.
Everybody out there, as I posted down at the bottom, they're on the webpage right now. This is Jamison and Shye's links that you can contact them and see their content. Please do let them know that you saw them on our show. We'd love that. But everyone, there they are. They're on our webpage, ndbmedia.net. Under videos and under Talented Universe, you will find it. So everyone,
Awesome.
Take care, and we'll see you tomorrow on Talented Universe when we have 2 programs tomorrow, one in the afternoon, one in the evening, East Coast time. So we will see you. More people from The Voice. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.